Sister Wife star Robyn Brown has revealed that she had a secret drug addiction. This has shocked fans to hear, as literally no one knew. However, Robyn was too embarrassed to talk about it on television. Fans understand where she was coming from and are glad that she is now able to speak about it all. There is a lot to unfold and uncover when it comes to this. Keep reading to find out more about this situation. Robyn Brown has come out with memoir Spills Everything. Robyn Brown was the first wife to leave the family. She was not enjoying her time and felt as though the relationship was no longer benefiting her. However, she left and is now remarried. Robyn Brown got married to David Woolley decently fast. However, fans can tell how happy she is and do not really think it is a problem. Now, Robyn Brown has written a book about her time in the plural family. It is set to release on September 16th. However, some of it has been leaked and has already come out. A lot of the things she says in the book are shocking. However, fans cannot wait to read it all. She has revealed that she had a secret drug addiction. Robyn Brown has revealed in her book that she struggled with a secret drug addiction. She had knee surgery, which led her to take oxycodone, as that is the pain medicine they gave her during her healing process. Sadly, this resulted in an addiction. It was very difficult, and even though I was on it for a month, the effects of it lasted at least 6. I didn't feel normal. I didn't feel okay for so long. So once I was done and I felt better, I just felt good to feel better. And I realized that with writing the book, that's something I didn't go back and revisit, was the addiction to oxycodone. Fans are proud of her for speaking out on the situation. However, it is shocking that she went through this and no one had a clue. It seems as though Robyn was addicted to oxycodone after her knee surgery. Fans think a lot of it had to do with Kody just leaving her to mend for herself. However, she is now able to talk on it and bring awareness to the drug and its addictive components. This was a big step for her and more than likely harder than anything she has admitted. What do you think about this situation? Are you shocked to find this out? Sound off in the comments below. We would love to hear your thoughts on this situation. For years, Sister Wives fans have watched Robyn Brown transform from a quiet, often overlooked wife in Kody Brown's plural marriage into a confident, radiant woman who finally chose her independence. Her divorce from Kody was celebrated by viewers as an act of empowerment, and her remarriage to David Woolley only solidified her image as a woman reborn. But behind the glossy social media posts, the contagious laughter, and the carefully curated TLC narrative, Robyn carried a secret, a battle so deeply personal and carefully hidden that not even her most loyal fans suspected it. Now, in a stunning confession, Robyn has revealed that she struggled with a dark chapter of substance abuse, a secret she says almost consumed her. The pressure cooker of polygamy. Robyn's road to this hidden struggle began long before her marriage unraveled. As Kody's third wife, she was thrust into a world of constant comparison. Every wife competed, silently or not, for Kody's attention, his approval, and his limited resources. When you live in a plural marriage, you learn how to smile even when your heart is breaking, Robyn admitted in an emotional sit-down with producers. I was the fun mom, the one who always had snacks, who kept things light, but inside, I felt invisible. Fans recalled the infamous Sister Wives episodes where Kody openly admitted he wasn't attracted to Robyn. That humiliation, broadcast to millions, was more than just a sting. It became a wound that never fully healed. Robyn began looking for an escape, anything that could dull the pain of rejection, the exhaustion of raising children mostly alone, and the suffocating environment of a fractured family. A secret that started small. Robyn revealed that her struggles didn't begin with reckless abandon, but with subtle moments of surrender. She said, "It started so small," she confessed. "A friend handed me something, said it would help me relax, sleep better. I thought, what's the harm? I wasn't drinking, I wasn't doing anything wild. It felt safe." But safe quickly spiraled into dependency. Robyn admitted that what began as an occasional crutch soon became a daily necessity. I'd put the kids to bed and I'd feel this wave of loneliness. I'd reach for it. At first, it numbed me, but after a while, it controlled me. I didn't feel like Christine anymore. I felt like a shell of her. Living a double life. On screen, Christine projected sunshine. She cooked for the kids, laughed during interviews, and playfully teased Kody even as her heart hardened against him. But off screen, she was unraveling. She said, "I was terrified anyone would find out. I thought if TLC knew, if the other wives knew, they'd use it against me. I couldn't trust anyone." Her secrecy meant she suffered alone. She buried the signs, smiling bigger, working harder, and convincing herself she could stop anytime she wanted to. She said, "I remember looking in the mirror one night and not recognizing the woman staring back. That's when I knew I was lost." The breaking point. The turning point came shortly after Christine officially left Kody in 2021. While fans celebrated her bold independence, Christine herself was at her lowest. She said, "Everyone thought I was thriving, but the truth, when the cameras left, I fell apart. I didn't know who I was without the constant fight for Kody's attention, and that's when my addiction hit its peak." Christine revealed there was one night she feared she wouldn't wake up. She said, "That scared me into reality. I realized I couldn't hide anymore. I had kids who still needed me. I had a future, and I wasn't about to throw it away." Reaching for help. Instead of spiraling further, Christine made the hardest choice. She asked for help. She told her kids first. She sat them down and said, "Mom hasn't been okay. I've been struggling and I need to get better." That was the hardest conversation of my life. But they were incredible. They hugged me, they didn't judge me, they just loved me. Christine entered therapy and a private treatment program, away from cameras and public scrutiny. It wasn't an easy road, but it was one she committed to walking every single day. Recovery is not a straight line. It's messy, it's painful, but it's also beautiful. I had to face the darkest parts of myself, but on the other side, I found freedom. David Woolley, her anchor. Christine credits much of her continued healing to her husband, David Woolley. "When I met David, I was honest. I told him everything. I didn't want to carry secrets anymore. And instead of running away, he looked at me and said, 'Christine, I love all of you, even the broken parts.' That changed everything." David became her anchor, providing the stability and unconditional love she never received from Kody. He encouraged her to continue therapy, celebrate small victories, and most importantly, forgive herself. "David showed me what real love feels like," Christine said through tears. "For the first time, I didn't have to perform. I could just be me." Why she's speaking out now? Christine's decision to finally go public with her secret wasn't easy. She wrestled with whether to share it, fearing backlash and judgment from fans who idolized her as the strong one who escaped. But ultimately, she chose honesty over perfection. She said, "I realized so many women are living in silence, just like I did. Whether it's addiction, depression, or abuse, we hide it because we're scared. But healing starts with truth. If my story helps any one woman feel less alone, it's worth it." The Brown family reacts. Christine's revelation has sent shockwaves through the Brown family. Janelle, who has been Christine's closest ally, praised her bravery. She said, "I'm so proud of Christine. She's always been strong, but this level of honesty takes courage most people will never understand." Mary, however, reportedly reacted with mixed emotions. While she expressed support publicly, insiders revealed tension between the two women resurfaced. A source close to the family shared Mary felt Christine's confession was another way of painting herself as the hero. And then, of course, there's Kody. His reaction, as expected, was explosive. According to insiders, Kody is furious that Christine is once again airing dirty laundry and believes she is exaggerating to gain sympathy. But fans seem to disagree. Social media has erupted with messages of support for Christine, praising her for breaking the cycle of silence. One fan tweeted, "Christine just became even more real. To know she went through something like this and still came out shining gives me hope for my own struggles." Another wrote, "Kody tried to break her, but she rose. Addiction doesn't define her. Her recovery does." Christine has since launched a platform dedicated to mental health and recovery resources, using her voice to uplift others who feel trapped in silence. A woman reborn. Today, Christine Brown stands not as a victim of polygamy, rejection, or addiction, but as a woman reborn. She acknowledges that recovery is lifelong and admits that she still has hard days. But with David by her side, her children cheering her on, and her own inner strength guiding her, Christine has turned her darkest chapter into a story of redemption. She said, "When I look back at that woman who was hiding, I want to hug her. I want to tell her, you're stronger than you know. You'll survive this." And now I get to tell myself that every day. Conclusion. Christine Brown's confession is more than a bombshell. It's a reminder that behind the cameras, the headlines, and the Instagram posts, real people fight real battles. Her courage to speak out about her secret addiction may just be her most powerful act yet. In choosing truth over silence, Christine has redefined her story, proving once again why fans see her as the true heart of Sister Wives. For over a decade, Sister Wives star Christine Brown has been celebrated as the fan-favorite wife who finally broke free from Kody Brown's control. Her escape from plural marriage, her journey into independence, and her fairy tale second marriage to David Woolley painted a picture of triumph. But now, Christine has revealed a deeply personal, heartbreaking truth that few saw coming. Behind the laughter, the cooking segments, and the cheerful Instagram posts, Christine admits she carried a dark secret, a battle with addiction that nearly consumed her life. A childhood of expectations. Christine's story doesn't begin in the glare of TLC cameras. It begins in her childhood, growing up in a polygamous family where loyalty, obedience, and perfection were expected from the start. As one of several siblings, Christine quickly learned how to become the people pleaser. She made jokes to keep the peace, volunteered to help, and hid her own feelings to avoid being a burden. "I always thought love had to be earned," she once admitted. "If you were funny enough, helpful enough, spiritual enough, you would be loved." That was the message I absorbed as a kid. Those early lessons would carry into adulthood, shaping the way Christine related to Kody and the other sister wives. The polygamist pressure cooker. When Christine entered Kody's marriage in 1994 as his third wife, she believed she was stepping into a spiritual calling, but instead she found herself in what she now calls a pressure cooker of comparison. Kody's affection was limited, divided, and often withheld altogether. Christine remembers nights when she would cook elaborate meals only to watch him eat in another wife's kitchen. She recalls birthdays where his absence was explained away with excuses. The rejection wasn't just once or twice. It was constant. I was raising kids, managing chaos, and still trying to prove my worth. But no matter what I did, I never felt enough. That rejection, compounded by the humiliating moment Kody admitted on television that he wasn't attracted to her, planted the seeds of Christine's darkest struggle. The slippery slope. Christine confessed that her battle with addiction didn't begin with recklessness, it began with exhaustion. She said, "There was one night I couldn't sleep. I was overwhelmed, crying quietly so the kids wouldn't hear. A friend offered me something, told me it would calm my nerves. I thought, it's harmless, just once." That once became twice. Then it became routine. Before long, Christine realized she had come to depend on it. It dulled the ache. It made me feel like I could breathe for a while. But eventually, I wasn't reaching for it to calm down. I was reaching for it to survive. Living two lives. On screen, Christine remained the bubbly, comedic relief of Sister Wives. She cracked jokes in confessionals, organized family holidays, and maintained her reputation as the fun mom. Off-screen, the cracks widened. Christine admitted she often hid her struggle even from her children, waiting until the house was quiet before giving in. She felt like a fraud, she confessed. I'd smile for the cameras and fans, but when the lights turned off, I was empty. I hated myself for needing it, but I hated myself even more when I didn't have it. Her double life took its toll. Simple things, cooking, cleaning, laughing with the kids, felt heavy and fake. Yet, she was determined no one could know. The collapse after leaving Kody. When Christine announced in 2021 that she was leaving Kody, fans hailed her as a feminist hero. But behind the headlines, Christine says she nearly lost control. Everyone saw the brave face. What they didn't see was me sitting alone at night, spiraling. I had left a toxic marriage, but I hadn't left my pain. Without the constant distraction of polygamy, the silence was unbearable. She described one night in vivid detail. I remember looking in the mirror, not recognizing myself. I looked tired, broken, and scared. That night, I realized if I didn't stop, I wasn't going to make it. The decision to seek help. The breaking point came when Christine confided in her children. She described it as the most terrifying moment of her life. She told them everything. I was shaking, crying, so ashamed. But they didn't look at me with disgust. They looked at me with love. My daughters hugged me and said, "Mom, we'll get through this together." That gave me the courage to get help. Christine quietly entered therapy and a recovery program, far from the cameras and TLC storylines. She attended meetings, journaled through her pain, and began facing the trauma she had carried since childhood. It wasn't easy. I had days I wanted to give up, but for the first time, I wasn't hiding anymore. I could finally be honest with myself. David Woolley, a safe harbor. Christine credits much of her ongoing healing to her husband, David Woolley. When I met David and I was upfront, I told him my past, my struggles. I thought he'd run. Instead, he took my hand and said, "You're not broken, Christine. You're human." That was the moment I realized I could trust love again. He's been by her side through every step of recovery, celebrating milestones, comforting her through temptations, and reminding her of her strength. He doesn't need me to perform or be perfect. He just loves me as I am. That's something I never experienced before. Family reactions. Christine's confession has stirred a storm within the Brown family. Janelle stood firmly by her side, calling Christine a warrior for choosing truth over secrecy. Miri was more complicated. Publicly supportive, insiders claim she privately resented Christine's narrative, fearing it would once again paint her as the villain wife. Robyn and Kody? Their response, as usual, was defensive. Sources say Kody accused Christine of fabricating drama for sympathy, while Robyn allegedly expressed concern about how this revelation would affect their children's perception of Christine. But fans overwhelmingly sided with Christine. Social media exploded with support, calling her brave, real, and inspiration. Fans rallying behind her. Christine admitting this doesn't make me love her less, it makes me respect her more, one fan wrote on Twitter. Another added, "So many women hide in silence. Christine's courage might just save lives." Christine has since embraced her new role as an advocate, launching conversations about addiction recovery, mental health, and the dangers of silent suffering. TLC in the future. TLC insiders are reportedly debating how much of Christine's confession to include in upcoming episodes. Some argue it's too raw, while others insist it could create the most powerful season yet. One producer allegedly said, Christine's story is bigger than polygamy now. It's about survival, resilience, and truth. That's what viewers connect with. There are whispers of a Christine-led spinoff focusing on her new life, advocacy work, and her marriage to David. Fans have already begun campaigning for it online. Christine Reborn. Today, Christine Brown describes herself as not a victim, but a survivor. Addiction is part of my story, but it doesn't define me. What defines me is that I chose to fight back. I chose honesty. I chose love. She continues to attend therapy, celebrate her recovery milestones, and speak openly about the struggles she once hid. When I look back at that woman who was suffering in silence, I want to hug her. I want to tell her she was stronger than she believed. And now I know I am stronger than I ever imagined. Conclusion. Christine Brown's confession is more than a shocking headline. It's a reminder that even those who appear the happiest can carry hidden battles. By choosing to expose her truth, Christine has not only freed herself from secrecy, but has also given hope to countless others struggling in silence. In the end, Christine's story isn't just about addiction. It's about courage, resilience, and the power of rewriting your own narrative, no matter how dark the past may be.